Bring him to me!
Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein is finally out. First in theaters, now on Netflix. It's not a remake, it's not a reboot. It's Del Toro spending $100 million to build a 19th century ship in a warehouse because he refuses to let a computer draw it for him. After marauding through Del Toro's gruesome interpretation, we've conjured up the most ungodly trivia and are here to share it with you. Let's begin.
I'm not gonna do VFX on the ship. I want a real ship because the ship is a character.
Del Toro built 2 complete sound stages: Victor's laboratory and Captain Walton's icebound ship, the Proteus. No LED walls, no virtual production. He told Variety, "I want people painting, hammering, getting splinters." The lab alone took 6 months. The ship? A functioning hull with real rigging. When the art department asked if they could cheat the upper deck with matte paintings, Del Toro said no. They built it. Then they froze it with 40 tons of artificial snow. This is the same man who, in 2022, made a stop-motion Pinocchio with hand-carved wooden joints. The pattern is clear. If it can be faked, he'd rather build it twice.
If you are not to award me love, then I will indulge in rage. Mine is infinite!
Jacob Elordi spent 10 hours a day in prosthetic makeup, sometimes starting at 10 p.m. so he could shoot at dawn. 10 hours. That's longer than most people's workdays, and he did it for months. He didn't just sit there. He studied Buto, a Japanese dance form that looks like a corpse trying to remember how joints work. He learned Mongolian throat singing to give the creature a voice that sounds like 2 tectonic plates arguing. Del Toro said, "I started to believe he was superhuman." Elordi never complained, not once. He told GQ, "I turned my apartment into a shrine. Bernie Wrightson's illustrations on every wall, I wanted to dream in stitches." Wrightson, by the way, drew the definitive Frankenstein graphic novel in 1983. Del Toro licensed those plates before the script was finished. The monster's face isn't Karloff. It's Wrightson. Sunken cheeks, exposed tendons, a mouth that looks like it's screaming in a language no one speaks. Andrew Garfield was cast first. The makeup team spent 9 months sculpting his monster. Life casts, facial scans, hand-punched hair, then scheduling conflicts. He left. They had 3 weeks to resize everything for Elordi, who's 6'5". The prosthetics team basically rebuilt a human head from scratch. Garfield's look? Archived probably in a box labeled, "What Could Have Been." Doug Jones was another actor tapped to play Frankenstein's monster in an earlier version of the film that was canceled. Jones had worked with Del Toro in many films, including Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, and The Shape of Water.
God gives life, and God takes it, Victor. Perhaps God is enough.
Del Toro didn't want a bland lab coat for his Victor Frankenstein. He wanted David Bowie in The Man Who Fell to Earth, Mick Jagger in Performance, Prince in Purple. Victor isn't a scientist. He's a maestro who plays God like a guitar solo. Oscar Isaac was the only name on the list. No auditions. Del Toro called him and said, "You're doing this." Isaac said yes before reading the script. On set, they spoke exclusively in Spanish morbid jokes. Isaac said, "Guillermo directs in punchlines, half of them would get us canceled in English." Example, Del Toro yelled, "More hubris, Oscar, your mother's corpse is watching." It's also not the first time Oscar Isaac has portrayed a mad scientist desiring to defy God. He does something not too dissimilar in the 2014 film Ex Machina, where he creates an AI robot that gets the better of him.
Fucking unreal.
Mia Goth plays both Claire Frankenstein, Victor's mother, and Elizabeth Lavenza, Victor's brother's fiancée. Same actress, same face, different eras. Goth mentioned she'd just had a baby. Del Toro's brain lit up. Oedipal complex, but make it literal. Victor spends his life trying to resurrect his mother, first in flesh, then in love. Goth leaned in. She aged herself down with makeup for Elizabeth, up with prosthetics for Claire. One actress, 2 ghosts. Mary Shelley, the author of the original novel, never says lightning. Victor refuses to explain the process, lest another attempt it. Electricity was a parlor trick in 1818. Scientists zapped frog legs and called it progress. James Whale added the lightning in 1931. It stuck. Del Toro keeps it, but makes it ambiguous. The lab hums with coils and fluid, but the final spark? Off-screen. Like the novel intended. Del Toro sees both stories as creation myths. Pinocchio, a father who wants a son. Frankenstein, a son who wants a father. He made Pinocchio in 2022 and started Frankenstein in 2023. He almost made it a trilogy, one film each for Victor the Monster and Captain Walton. Netflix said no. Budget constraints, probably. Netflix printed 21 35mm copies. That's it. It played in 800 theaters, the widest release for any Netflix film ever. Not because of Twitter campaigns. Oscar rules require theatrical runs. They also shot on 65mm for IMAX. The lab scenes look like oil paintings.
What manner of creature is that? What manner of devil made him? I did.
Del Toro didn't update Frankenstein. He restored it, stripped the cliches, kept the rot. If you watched it on your phone, you missed the point. Find a theater that can do it justice. Or at least turn the lights off and crank up the volume. Comment any details we missed. We'll be in the replies, arguing about galvanism.